Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. It's been a long time. Been about a month, I think, since I last uploaded, which obviously was not the intention. I feel like I almost have to admit to being a liar, basically, because, on the last speed build that I did, I was talking about how, I have a whole schedule and have, everything planned out as far as content for, the next couple of months. Not even just, the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. I literally said that I had, months of content planned out, basically. And we're a month later, and this is the first video, unfortunately, that I am posting. Not the intention. Not what I had in mind, not what I planned, but it just kind of happened that way, unfortunately. But, I don't really have very many excuses except for, life has just been lifing. I feel like that I keep on getting to a point where I just keep on getting busier and busier and busier to the point where it's a little overwhelming how busy I've been. But nonetheless, we're gonna try this again. We're gonna, just push back all of the content that I had planned and move it, so it aligns with this current schedule now. I want to pretty much upload at least 3 times a week, where I do one video where it's the 100 baby challenge, and then do one video where it's the Disney princess challenge, and then either do another video in the week where it's another speed build, or maybe a cast video, or some random challenge video or something. That's what I think would be the most ideal. Because I kind of messed my own self up with all of this nonsense, because I did want to try and get as far as possible with a 100 baby challenge before the new baby update, because I figure doing a 100 baby challenge with real functioning infants is not going to be easy. So that's going to be really, really fun for me to kind of try and figure that one out. But nonetheless, I think that's kind of what I'm going to try to do going forward here with uploading and whatnot. And I already actually do have several episodes of the 100 baby challenge already recorded. I just haven't had the time to upload or edit, not upload. I just haven't had the time to edit them. So, hopefully I can get my life together with all of that and finally get that edited. I'm going to try, after I finish uploading this and whatnot and finish editing this video, I'm going to try and just find some time in the rest of the weekend that I have remaining to edit a little bit, but we'll see. That's the goal, that's the hope, that's the plan, but we shall see. But I have been trying to make sure that I film intentionally, where I'm not filming too long, so it's easier to edit the videos, but who knows. Because sometimes it's hard to just, film short videos, because sometimes there's not much going on, so you have to film a little bit longer than what you initially planned to. And that's just how it is sometimes. But that's the plan. That's what we're going to try and do. That's what we're looking forward to, with all of that and whatnot. So far, I have not talked at all about what I'm actually building, because I kind of was just going on a rant about not uploading. But I was basically just going for a basic, kind of Suburban-esque basic house, good for a little small family. Excuse me, was yawning there. Yeah, I just wanted something simple. I'm trying to find inspiration wherever I can to not do the typical house that I normally do, because I normally go for more modern-esque looking houses and whatnot, and especially like also interior wise, I go for more modern looking houses. But I'm trying to just find any inspiration. Like sometimes just like driving down the road where I live, I try and like look at houses there, and just like if I see a unique shaped house, I'm like, like keep that in mind, keep that in the back of my mind. And then like I've been using Pinterest a lot, especially as far as interior, to kind of get some inspo, doing something a little different, because it's hard. I just have a certain style and a certain way that I like things, and so it's hard for me to like deviate from that, because it just doesn't make sense for me or to me sometimes to like do something else or do something different. And so I don't want to end up with all of my houses looking like carbon copies of each other. So I've been trying really hard to find inspiration and just like, you know, experiment with color and experiment in general with the build and buy items that I normally don't use. So that's what I've been trying to do. Have I been necessarily fully successful? Kind of ish. I'm getting there. I'm doing a little bit better, but it's still hard. I'm sorry if you hear one of my cats. You know, I have cats that they're very needy. They need a lot of attention, so they tend to cry a lot for attention, even when they're in the same room as me. Even when I'm literally petting them, they're very vocal. So, you know, we just move on with life with that. But I tried to use like more warm tones since it was a family home that I was kind of going for. And I tried to not do like, you know, your typical like neutral, another yawn, neutral basic colors. But it's hard because neutral basic just makes sense and you don't have any issues with how it looks when you go neutral. So, but I think the house actually turned out pretty well. I think like the bedrooms are like my favorite part of the house. I think I did keep it really, really simple with the living room and dining area. I tried to do something a little bit different with the kitchen. You'll see a little bit later. I tried to like make it have a little something different going on in there for the most part, but the downstairs area is pretty plain and simple. But that's basically what I was talking about with what I did different in the kitchen. I kind of tried to do like an angled like, and it's not an island, but like it's like a bar, that's what it is, like a little bar countertop situation, because it's obviously not an island because it's not off by itself. But like I try to, you know, do something a little bit different. And I also like never use those gray cabinets or whatnot, so I tried to do that too. I did like a little double sink vibe because I just felt like it needed that, because I felt like it would look weird if the sink was just off to one side. So I figured I'd do that. But I think the downstairs overall, like with how simple it is and kind of basic it is, it still like turned out pretty well, pretty decent. Could I have used more color? Of course, like always, yes. But I think that I did do a pretty good job upstairs. So I was going back and forth on whether or not I should make this room into a kid's room or a toddler's room, but I wanted to like make it like a kind of like a foresty kind of vibe there. So that's why I initially was trying to use the little black and white forest tree situation there. I briefly for like a second changed the bed into a child's bed, but then went straight back to the toddler's bed. But I was just kind of going for like, you know, lots of green and whatnot, and just, you know, a kind of a slightly different vibe of a toddler's room. So that's why like I put in the little couch and everything. I always try to use the wall details or decals, but like I just never can get it to like look right. I even tried changing the wallpaper to see if like adding the wall decals would look good with that, but it always looks a little strange to me. But I was like, you know what, I need to get out of my comfort zone and do something a little different, so I kept them. And then I've been loving the high school years pack. That's literally pretty much the only reason why I bought the high school years pack, is for the buy mode stuff. I just really, really like the stuff that it includes. So I basically made this into like a little teens room, and I used a good bit of the high school years stuff in here. And it's a nice, like, small, cozy room, but I think it's like really nice for a teen nonetheless. It has, like, you know, all your teen essentials, a nice closet, you know, a little bench on the end where you can sit, you know, very planty, has like several plants and whatnot. I thought that this room turned out really well. This is probably, I think the toddler room and this room were definitely my favorite rooms. Because for one, I just like the high school years pack stuff, and then the toddler room, it was definitely out of my comfort zone because it had more color than what I normally would do. But I actually think it actually turned out really nice. And for the parents' bedroom, I was trying to go and do something a little bit different because I feel like it's just hard to do a parents' room because I feel like I was trying to make it so it's like neutral, where it's not like too feminine, not too masculine. So like it could just work for like anyone, but it's just hard for me to like keep it extremely neutral and whatnot. And I also really struggled with like the shape of the rooms, especially with this shape, because it was big, but it was big in a like slightly weird way and like weird shape. So it was a little bit of a struggle for me to figure out how to put that rug in, and then also just filling up the space so it doesn't look completely empty. And then I just do something pretty simple with the bathroom, but I try to change it up a little bit because I normally go for like the most neutral swatches when it comes to the bathroom. But I was like, okay, we can use this little floral curtain situation, which I think I normally just use like the default swatch because that to me is just like the most basic one. And then I also always kind of struggle with like I think I just have a problem where I always make my hallways fairly big, or at least they always have like some sort of open space to them, so it's like kind of hard for me sometimes to kind of figure out what I want to put there. But it was pretty easy with this to figure out what to put in this hallway because there was no place that I had any desk. So I kind of just made the hallway into like a little desk area there. I realized that my windows were not even and not straight, so I kind of adjust that so the windows are straight. And here I found some pictures on the gallery of like custom paintings, and so I just used those and used other paintings to give it a frame. Because I'm kind of bored and tired of the same paintings that we always use and always have in the game. And then I add another one downstairs in the hallway there as well. And I'm just kind of going around and adding in some like decor pieces to try and like liven up the downstairs a little bit, because like I said, it's pretty basic and neutral and a little boring here. So I kind of decided to put in a little like hutch display situation on that wall right there. I went through like several different things because with it being so neutral, I wanted to try and add a little bit of color to it, but then like I wanted it to keep like still match, not be like completely crazy. So I just ended up going with like a basic wood one there. And then I started working on the outside, just doing the decking area. I wanted to originally keep it small, but then I also wanted to have actual seating on the actual deck. So I ended up making it a little bit bigger in order to fit the chairs and whatnot. That's another thing. I feel like I would love to see more seating and outdoor seating, because I feel like, at least for me, there's not enough, because it's just basically like the two different chairs, and then like the tables are pretty much all the same. It's like whether or not it has an umbrella or not. That's like pretty much the only difference. But I just added in like a few toddler things because obviously we have a toddler there, so I added a little toddler kiddie pool situation. And then I didn't want to do like a whole like playground kind of vibe where like with the swings or like the monkey bars like I normally do for when I have a household that has kids in it. So I just did like a little what is it called, fire pit situation instead. I have just been struggling once again with landscaping. It's just so hard for me. I try, and I kind of was trying to use a trick of just like copying what was like surrounding the lot that I was working on and just doing the same thing there, but it's still really hard because like what's surrounding the lot that I was building on, it still just didn't look right. I was using like the same plants and stuff, but it still just wasn't working well. And I think part of that is because the front door like was on the side, and so like that meant that the full front of the house basically could easily have and be overrun with like plants and stuff, and so it just wasn't looking the best to me. So I kept like going back and forth on trying to figure out like how to work that. And then also I don't think it helped that I had the plants hanging on the window in the front as well, because that kind of messed me up too, because it was like a lot going on there. And then I didn't take into account the fact that the house was going to be raised on a foundation when I was doing the plants, and so I had to go back and make them bigger than when I had them originally. But the video is coming to an end here, so I will go ahead and close out with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you did like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. You can also do a little comment down below, and you can subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!